Welcome to the Stuff and Things Podcast, your home for all stuff related to your favorite things in entertainment. Now, here are your hosts.
Hello everybody and welcome to Walking Dead Wednesday on our podcast once again. This time it's Fear the Walking Dead we're talking about. I am Sam. Joining me to discuss Fear's Season 7 Part A, it's my partner in crime, it's Stefan.
Hey man, I am back, we are back, Fear is back, Fear is gone, but Fear will be back in soon.
So we want to open with this a little bit. So Fear the Walking Dead has always been a bit of an interesting one for UK audiences because... a little bit of a history lesson. BT, British Telecom, launched a TV service here in the UK to try and rival Sky about 7 years ago.
Yes.
When they did that, they signed an exclusive deal with AMC to create a channel for AMC content in the UK only on their platform called BT AMC. And one of the flagship shows to go to that was Fear the Walking Dead, the brand new show at the time.
Yeah.
So the only way to watch it in the UK was to subscribe to it, or you could watch it a year later when it streamed to Amazon Prime TV. So over the years this show's been on, we've had to find hook or by crook ways to watch it, make sure we watch it. We do episodic reviews. In fact, this podcast started purely off Fear the Walking Dead. So
back in the day, it was you and Alfie,
yeah, a long time ago. So I'm going to start with a bit of an apology, and it is completely on me. Due to the fact that that channel just isn't available anymore.
And it disappeared, it upped and left.
It literally upped and left. I didn't even know this show was back on. There was no advertising for it anywhere. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't really watch adverts on TV anymore. Anything I watch live, if it's a TV show, I will wait 15 minutes before I start watching it so I can fast forward the adverts.
Yep.
I mean, I know this is just abusing the modern technology at its very core, but I just don't. So I never saw it advertised anywhere. Obviously in the US it was back and it was rolling, and I think it got to about the 4th episode before someone actually asked us, hey, are you guys still reviewing Fear the Walking Dead or what? And I was like, oh yeah, when it's back, definitely. And they were like, yeah, episode 5 airs this Sunday.
Yeah, it was like, what? Yeah, I'm the same as you.
I messaged you and I was like, is Fear back? And you were like, no. And you checked IMDb and you were like, oh my god.
yeah, it actually came back on, according to IMDb, the 10th of October.
Yeah, so...
we found out sometime beginning of November.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
So we were in kind of like, what do we do? Do we do a catch-up show and then do it episodically? But actually finding the episodes to watch is becoming quite problematic. So Amazon have done a thing where you can buy them. You can buy the series on Amazon so you can watch them when they do drop weekly. So that's what I've ended up doing. And obviously what you've ended up doing as well, because we're good law-abiding citizens.
Of course.
Anyway, moving on from that quickly, we made the decision that basically what we would do is we would do a 7A recap. So we would basically talk about the events in 7A as best we can, sort of like an overview of each episode just briefly, and then obviously go back to episodic when the series resumes for 7B.
Yes.
So here it is. And apologies. I mean, this was kind of like our starting show. So I'm in this to the end, and I'm kind of gutted that this has happened. But here we are. So anyone who listens to the podcast and listened for a long time, there's a little bit of a tradition we have. By the way, someone's asked if they can have this on a t-shirt, and I'll try and work out if I can design it. I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but Stefan, the title of the 8 episodes that have aired in Season 7 Part A.
Can you
run me? Yeah, you're prepared. I'm impressed.
Yep. The Beacon.
Yep.
And then it was 6 Hours.
Yep.
Cindy Hawkins.
Yep.
Breathe With Me.
Yep.
Till Death.
Yep.
Reclamation. The Portrait. And then Padre.
Padre.
I want to know, what do they want on the t-shirt?
Oh, they want and the title of the episode is ... So they want
just our logo on the back
they want
of it.
Stuff and Things podcast logo, and the title of the episode is ...
What a legend. That is going on the merch store.
That is going on the merchandise store, yeah. Which is coming soon to stuffandthingspodcast.com. Not even joking, I genuinely did the design over Christmas.
And I am sat here wearing the t-shirt, the baseball cap, and the hoodies on the back of my chair. Trust me, guys, it's good stuff.
I'm a massive fan of that. I love the fact you're recording. It's like, nope, got to put the uniform on. It's work time.
Yeah, got to get the mindset.
I feel underdressed now, just sat here in my pants. But
yeah.
So
that's why we don't do this by video.
But they are Stuff and Things pants. Bring it on. Well, they're black. So of the 8 episodes, now you really enjoyed this 7A because you started watching it before me because we made the decision. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do it as a recap. So I thought, right, I'm going to wait for all of them to be available, and then I'm just going to binge watch them. And you got into it, so you were waiting, like you were watching it episodically.
Yeah, I got to a stage. I think I had to wait for the last 2 episodes, like the weekly ones, and I was like, come on. Yeah. I'd binge watched 6 episodes, and then suddenly had to wait a week, and I was like, well, wait a minute, this isn't fun.
But yeah, you got massively into it, which was fun. I mean, it's probably the first time in a while. I mean, season 11 of The Walking Dead captured us quite well.
That wasn't too bad at all.
Fear, we've enjoyed, like season 6 of Fear, we both enjoyed, and we thought, and when it ended with the kind of the nuclear blast, we were like, where does this go now?
Yeah, how can it go anywhere?
As it turns out, and this is something that is thematic throughout 7A, it kind of lent itself quite beautifully for them to be able to film in a COVID world, where the nuclear fallout is caused total devastation in clouds, probably meaning that a lot of scenes could be shot on like a soundstage. Do you know what I mean? They weren't needing to be on location. They could
quite easily green screen like a studio and go, just film in here. We'll add some mist. Yeah, I mean,
I did say a couple of times to you, and I think it was because I'm watching on a Ultra HD TV, and I was like, okay, that's clearly a stage. That's clearly... I feel like I'm watching the original Star Trek here, and Kirk's about to fight the Gorn, It's this look a bit... But, I don't want to dwell on that, and the reason why I don't want to dwell on it, because I think the storytelling in Season 7 has been really good so far. So I want to open up, so we're just going to whip through the episodes, and I want you to dive in if at any point you feel like I've missed an important thing from any episode. Mm-hmm. But opening with the Beacon, we meet a guy called Will. He is surviving against toxic walkers, basically like radioactive wasteland, and it's quite a good introduction. I don't know about you, but possibly because of the delay in watching 7, and obviously it's been a year since 6, I was like, who the hell is this guy and why have I forgotten him? So I was delighted to learn he was new.
He's completely... And if walkers weren't bad enough in the first place, they're now radioactive. I mean...
Yeah, which we kind of had a little bit in Season 5. When we first met Grace, it was kind of like, oh, this is good. And I kind of feel like the writers have gone, that was fun. Let's bring that back on a big scale.
Yeah, we should do that to all of them.
Yeah, we should just nuke the area and make it hell. Yeah, if surviving the zombie apocalypse wasn't bad enough, you're now doing it in a toxic radioactive wasteland. This guy is found by Strand's men, so this is the first indication that we have that Strand, at the end of Season 6, was like, I've survived, I'm going to make this, I'm going to rebuild, I am Victor Strand, and we both kind of went, oh, he's sounding a bit bad guy.
Yeah.
And I think this episode
just goes downhill very quickly.
This episode just kind of shows us that Strand is... There are actually comparisons drawn in the series straight away, so I don't think it's unfair for us to say he's gone a bit Negan.
Yes. Yeah. Yep, I will give that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the building's practically called the Sanctuary.
Yeah, he might as well have a neon sign. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a baseball bat away. Oh, no, I've got a sword.
I was about to say, he's carrying around a weapon with him all the time. Swinging a baseball bat with a sword.
I feel like Negan is slightly more likeable, though.
Yeah, that's probably fair. I mean, the thing is with Strand, and I think the thing that they're doing with this, which is really interesting, is how many times with The Walking Dead did we have that debate? Well, if we'd followed Negan from the beginning, maybe we'd be more Team Negan.
We have followed this guy
from the beginning. And I think we're safe to say that we've looked at him and gone, you're an ass on a regular basis. Oh, but he's come good. Oh, but he does love, he has done this. Oh, okay, all right, well, everyone has a bit of a dark side. No, you are gone full Emperor. You are the dark side now. What I find kind of funny is Morgan, obviously, with his peace and love attitude, is very much on the side of right. If you're going to draw a line down the middle and you're going to say, okay, who's good, who's bad, you would put Morgan in his current incarnation on the good, and you would put Strand in his current incarnation on the bad side of that line.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah.
However, if we were to look back over all the years of watching the shows and Strand and all the years of Morgan, would you still keep them on those sides of the line? Because I'm not sure Morgan can be classed as a good guy when you go over everything that guy has done.
He's had some clear out moments, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's had one or two times where he's had a bit of a mental break. Are we saying that we could say Morgan is almost schizophrenic in nature, where we go, look, Morgan, like peace and love, Morgan, great guy, wonderful guy. Don't hurt a member of his family, because when he loses people, he becomes the other. He becomes the other guy. I mean, how much
you
fun?
Don't like the Hulk. Bruce Banner. Don't get him angry. You won't like him when he's angry.
Exactly. Yeah. How much fun would it be to actually investigate the kind of Morgan realizing, hey, actually, I think I've got a split personality, because as an actor, that would be just a joy to play, wouldn't it? Just like, I'm peace and love. Oh, you stood on my foot.
Murder.
Yeah, murder. We get to meet Strand and we get to see this building. This guy who lived in this building, by the way, appears to have just become Strand's bitch. I don't know how else to describe
Pretty much, yeah. He's fallen straight into the "you are my servant" role very quickly.
Yeah, I don't.
You've walked into my building, but now you're in charge.
I'd love to know if there's any kind of, I don't know. I guess you could go into some sort of deep psychological. Some people are the alpha, some people are the beta debate. And people.
That guy's very much a delta, if not further
delta.
down.
Oh, bless him. Do you know, I've seen him in a number of TV shows and stuff over the years, and he's always very good. Do you know what I mean? Like I see him in a few things, and every character he plays is unique. So I like this actor, and one of the things I think that The Walking Dead has done, I think Fear the Walking Dead has done, is I do think they get cast in pretty good. I think when they get some actors come in and do stuff, it's very rare me and you ever go, this actor, what the we often talk about the characters and say, oh man, this character drives me insane, this character's decision making is awful, fire the writers. But I don't think we've ever really looked at an actor on either show. If we have, very rarely gone, wow, they really are not good. And this guy is no exception. He's great. So we have the moment in this episode where this guy, Will, has a necklace and Strand recognises it as Alicia's.
Yeah.
They go to find her.
He notices that very quickly and has like almost a complete change, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's like, I'm big, I'm bad, this is my base. You're wearing that necklace, I want to know where she is.
Yeah, where is she? Why have you got it? Yeah.
So they go off to find her. He says that she's been down in that bunker she was locked in, and that's where he met her. So he's going to head there, and everything goes wrong. They get like ambushed by this group that are stripping the dead, which is a weird thing, but does make sense in the end. Do you know that took me far more episodes than I want to admit to realise why they were doing that?
Yeah?
Yeah. When did you work out why they were doing it?
Yeah, it took me a while.
Okay, good. Because you said that like, really? Wow.
Really do?
Dumbass.
Yeah, no,
Major dumbass, yeah. Oh, okay. You made me feel really bad then.
Yeah, just for a split second, wait a minute.
Like a couple of minutes, I was like, oh no, I feel really stupid. But yeah, so they go to find it. It all goes wrong. Strand and this Will guy are basically the only ones left. And this Will guy, it appears, kind of led Strand into this. Had no intention of taking him to Alicia's. Like, oh, Alicia told me all about you. So we're like, who the hell is this guy? Who, by the way, and we don't know the amount of time that has passed, but just seems to be completely in love with Alicia. I mean, like, besotted with her.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of get it. She's kind of hot. But at the same time, I'm like, how much time? I mean, this is weeks, months? Have they been a year in this toxic wasteland? What the hell is going on?
Yeah, it was one of those kind of things, yeah. It was like, how long could they have been together for in that bunker?
Yeah, because...
Why?
This feels kind of weird. The end of the episode. So, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of like Strand's almost being a bit drama king in this. So... You know, I said to you, like, he's a bit Negan. He's also a bit Ezekiel. You know, a bit the king, you know, like,
yeah.
Check me out, I'm walking around in this uniform, I've got the sword, I'm controlling my guys on horses, you know, a bit like Ezekiel.
You've only got to go forward a few episodes to him sitting there getting an oil painting done.
Yes, exactly,
like God.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, it's like, it's like really, I mean, that gets really messed up as well, by the way.
Yeah.
We definitely need to talk about that. One of the things I do want to talk about, sorry, just quickly, I kind of missed it. There were a lot of very cool visuals at the lighthouse scene in this episode. They went to that lighthouse, like the beacon, quite literally, and obviously the beacon was activated, so it was attracting walkers, and in the kind of fog, haze, the... dare I say, nuclear fallout kind of stuff. It was some great visuals, I thought. Like, some combat going on.
Yeah, 100%. And I liked the way as well, like, I was a bit nervous at first of how they would do the whole nuclear fallout stuff.
Yeah.
And when I saw the first pictures and everything had this, like, yellowy haze, I was like, oh, this could look really naff.
Yeah.
This could have looked naff. But actually, I think it was really good. Yeah,
well, I said to you, there was a couple of times I did watch it and think, I don't know. But the vast majority of the time, I will say to you, yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely looked good. And like I said, almost like a perfect storytelling mechanism almost for the fact in COVID times and how they're going to have to film. Don't you think? It's like, this worked out really well.
This is worked out nice, yeah. And I like the way it was kind of like, you know, yellow haze. We're in the nuclear zone. Yeah. Non-yellow haze. Lucky guys outside the blast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I got it. And then the way of doing that was quite helpful to us. So the lighthouse scene was good. They do make it to that bunker. The bunker's opened up and completely abandoned. And there's just a note left behind for Will from Alicia that just says, Padre.
Yeah.
So this is the first time we see or hear that word, which then gets repeated so much.
Throughout this, it gets repeated so much that by the end of the season, I'm like, is it Padre?
Yeah, Padre. Padre. Yeah. It's a pad and re.
Yeah.
Padre. Yeah, I'm from the West Country in England. It's Padre, my babber. Yeah.
You know, like when you say a word so many times, you then start thinking the word doesn't sound right. That's what this was like by the end of the series.
Say the word gazebo 10 times. Anyone listening, do this. By the end of it, you're wondering if you even speak English anymore. So they get back to like Strand's base and everything, and this is the bit for me where he goes from. Is he a bad guy? It feels like he's just playing a role here, which Strand does. You know, he's a master manipulator from day one, a survivor. It feels almost like he's playing the role of the big bad here. Because he's kind of portraying this. Oh, no, wait, he threw Will off of a freaking building. He has gone full Negan.
Yeah, I didn't expect that at the end.
No,
that was a little bit of we've got a new character. This could be a fun link between Strand and Alicia. Like, this is how he's going to get Alicia on. Nope, he threw off the building.
I don't know about you. I was delighted. Not that I disliked Will, really, but I love it when something happens that I genuinely couldn't have predicted. Like, for me, I was expecting a little bit of monologuing to end the episode and a little bit of kind of, you will tell me about this Padre. You will tell me where she is, or or I'll tickle your balls, just like I will do bad things to you. I will put your face to a sander. I will do this. Nah, none of that crap. All right, she loved you more, huh? Off the building.
Goodbye.
Like, what?
Yeah. And he just hits the ground and you're like, oh, we're going to see... Did you have that thought of, we're going to see you again at some point?
I genuinely, when he obviously turned, and they made a point of showing us, he didn't just explode and get eaten. He hit the deck and then he turned. He basically, like, his broken ass body was now a crawler. You don't really call him a walker. He was now a crawler and part of the kind of defensive herd, which again, very Negan with the Sanctuary, by the way.
Yeah, I've made a wall of zombies try and get me.
It was good. It was good. I liked it. As an opening episode, I was kind of like, okay, you've got me. Well done. Now, see what you can do with me. Now you've got me. The next episode, if you're happy to move on, is called
this is the
6 hours.
This is the Grace and Morgan kind of episode.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever spoke to you about this. There's a TV show, Battlestar Galactica. It was originally in the 70s into the 80s. The 80s anyway, definitely. And then it was remade. It was remade in the 2000s, and I watched the remake. So I remember watching the old one when I was a kid. So when I saw there was a remake, I thought, this could be fun. Now, one of the very first episodes of season 1, there's this thing where they're basically being hunted. So I don't know if you know the premise of the show at all, but it's the Battlestar is like the last ship of a great fleet of humans who have been destroyed by basically robots called Cylons that are hunting them.
Okay.
And they've got a clock, and I think I can't remember the time. It's like 28 minutes or something like that. And the episode's called 28 minutes. And the reason why it's called that is because every 28 minutes, when this ship jumps through hyperspace, they get tracked and found again and are attacked. So these people have been running for days every 28 minutes. So they land somewhere, and then they've got 28 minutes to try and prepare themselves to go again.
Oh, wow.
And it is relentless. And the thing about the show that it does is it shows this kind of absolute fatigue. These people are like dead on their feet, and the pilots are having to fly out to defend the fleet on like no sleep. They're popping pills that are keeping them awake, and they're making mistakes and seeing things, and it is nuts. But of course they're being hunted by machines who don't need sleep, don't need rest.
Yeah.
So it's like this episode, like the way it's done with this kind of clock timer, all that, it's like real, like, oh my god, tension from the start.
Yeah.
I loved it. It's like one of those things that always sticks in my mind. And one of the things I liked about this episode of Fear the Walking Dead with the 6 hours thing is it kind of added that little bit of danger. Going out in the zombie apocalypse is dangerous, but because of the experience of our survivors at this point, it's not as dangerous as it once was, because they understand how the walkers act.
Yeah.
You then add the element of the radioactivity to the area, and the fact you now have a clock on you, because the amount of times that they could go out and perhaps a herd would come and it'd be like, that's okay, we'll just bunker down here and we'll wait for it to pass.
All of a sudden, you've only got half hour left on your clock.
Yeah, man.
And you're 20 minutes away from the base.
Yeah.
You've suddenly got a bit more of an issue.
Big time, yeah. And I love that. I love that there's just a real simple scene with Grace and like going into the shop and stuff. All of a sudden became, this is bad. She cracks that uniform she's wearing, the mask or anything, she's dead.
Yeah.
A walker, all these
rips
different
her
aspects.
sleeve or something like that.
Yeah.
Or, I'm well known for catching like my hip and stuff on anything ever so slightly not smooth.
Mate, my knees are bruised.
Yeah.
My life, I just walk into shit. That's me.
Like, all of a sudden, that now becomes a real danger zone because
it's a massive issue. Yeah,
you hit your hip on a screw in the wall.
Yeah.
Oh, the suit's ripped. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you think back to like the early episodes of The Walking Dead. It's like, don't let them scratch you, don't let them do any, because they were just thinking any touch from a walker and you're dead, anything at all. And because of that, you had all that tension. Like the women all cut their hair because it was like, don't have long hair. If they can grab it, you're dead. Yeah. And so there's all these aspects to it, and because over time they've all like got so much better. Like something grabs your hair now, they just spin around dead.
Yeah, Maggie's now walking around with hair that almost touches the floor. She's like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Bring it on. I'm Rapunzel, bitches. So I loved this episode for that, and I also loved the aspect of they caught this baby, which of course the end of season 6 was like this madness, but such a great scene as well.
Yeah.
And the baby's crying, the baby's hungry, they're starving, man.
Man, that baby doesn't shut up. Yeah. Like, God.
But, you know, the baby's starving, hungry, and they got no food, so they're having to keep venturing out, and they're like, the kid's not on solid food yet, it needs milk.
Oh, yeah,
got nothing.
On a scale of 1 to winning the lottery, how lucky is that kid that his parents aren't someone like Alpha?
Oh, yeah, that's it. Yeah, just like, the baby won't stop crying, I'm just going to go put it out in the toxic waste. Yeah, it'll either die or develop superpowers, either way, the problem's solved.
yeah. Baby's crying, baby's outside.
Yeah, baby gone. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I was a little bit worried a few times that Grace was going that way.
There was a couple of times, it was like, she's just going to, like, this is going to get dark.
Because, like, Morgan went on that run, I was like, Morgan's going to come back and find that she's just smothered this kid or something. It's bad.
But dark as it sounds, there was a genuine kind of, like, I think one time in the episode, she generally just gets up and walks away from the baby, and it's like...
Yeah, man. I've written down here, they're taking it in turns to go out, 6-hour limit. I think Grace is suicidal, and Morgan is just so one-track minded, he can't see it.
Yep.
Which I think's the thing. Now, towards the end of the episode, we see that Morgan's built a car, and that's what he's been doing. He's not been out looking for food necessarily. He's been building this car. Now, again, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of like, that's so cool. I think it's such a boy thing. He's like, he's 18'd the shit out of a car. He's MacGyvered it. This is brilliant.
This is now no longer your normal sedan car. No. This is now a monster machine.
This a monster machine. That's what I was after. Yeah, man. This good. So they get in this car and he's like, look, we got to get out of here because we're in this area where we can only go out for 6 minutes. We've picked everything clean. We've got no food. We're screwed. Yep. So they head out in this car, which again is a massive risk. But he's like, no, I think this is the only way. And they encounter these people, which there's a pair of people that Grace had run into but managed to avoid earlier. And then they run into them again. I mean, what I've written down here is, oh my god, this couple are completely batshit. They have a walker baby. Yeah,
so these guys were interesting.
I want to just talk a little bit about them. Do you think that they went mad because their baby died? Or do you think their baby died because they were mad?
Flip a coin.
Yeah. A little from column A, a little from column B.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, these guys were absolute nut jobs, weren't they? Like,
man,
what's
they were
worse, walking into a herd of zombies or walking into two people like this? Like,
I'm starting to think I choose the herd with these.
Yeah, like these guys. That's our baby. That's our baby. No, it's not. No, that's our baby. No, it's not. That's our baby. No, this is your baby. Oh my god.
I did feel that Morgan missed out on a very obvious thing of just going, check the colour, dude.
Well, yeah, that could have solved it quite quickly.
Just like, yeah, look in the mirror, look at the baby. Now, come on. I'm no racism here, but come on, you're both white.
Work this one out. Yeah.
But no.
They were like incessant, the babies. And then he goes to then kill the baby at the end, and you're like, wait a minute. It was as he went to kill the baby, my brain suddenly went,
he killed the other one.
Yeah, and as Morgan's about to find the baby in the bag, and I started going, when you start piecing bits together really quickly, like, oh my god.
By the way, that bag is basically either just got someone's hand up in it creating the movement, or an animatronic, literally a doll kicking. Yeah. But why is it that really troubled me? Why is it that?
That was
I was like, no, don't like that. I really don't like that.
We've spoken about it before, things like this, but you're watching a good show when it's based in a zombie apocalypse and things can still make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like The Walking Dead, we had the episode with Connie when she was in the house.
Yeah.
And the people in there that just make you go, oh, I'm not comfortable with this. This isn't
not good.
Not nice. In a zombie show, that's pretty impressive when it's blood and guts everywhere.
I agree with that.
And then, the baby in a bag was just kind of like, not comfortable with this.
Why is it baby in a bag sounds like a ready meal, which is really bad. It's like
no, let's park that one.
I don't want to keep that as a recording anywhere. Why does baby in a bag sound like a ready meal? Yeah, Hannibal Lecter podcasts. So they obviously, after this situation, are kind of like, damn, we're down on fuel and everything, we need to get back. But before they can kind of deal with that, a guy just appears that looks like he's been following them. Morgan basically gives him a few opportunities to back off, and he doesn't, so drops him, and then nothing else is done about it. Now, I know we get a bit of a reveal, but he just drops him, they jump back in the car and leave.
Yeah.
When they get back to the sub, because obviously they think, this journey didn't work out, let's head back because we've definitely got enough fuel to get back there, they find that Strand's people are there.
Yeah.
Basically looking like they were there salvaging stuff, taking stuff. We have this awkward moment where Morgan kind of like's ready to hand over the baby and Grace. Kind of on the basis of like, I'm going to starve to death out here, but I don't want you guys to starve to death. But Grace now seems, possibly because of the experience they've just been through, far more, do you know what, don't worry, I'm on board now. I'm less suicidal, Grace, more.
Yeah, something happened between someone trying to kill the baby they're looking after. And now she's fully on board. She's now back to Team Morgan and Mo.
Yeah, which was nice.
Do we now call them Team Momo? Because Mo and Morgan, I don't know.
I'm up for that. Team Momo, definitely. I'm a big fan of that. And I think what we have then at the end of this episode, you've got an issue here where you could possibly go, oh look, that's convenient. Or you could just embrace the storytelling aspect of how life really works. And that is, they're sat there in this subfloor, these people are buggered off, and they look down and there's like compartments in the floor, and they open them up and the thing's full of powdered milk.
Yeah.
Now, you could go, oh wow, how convenient, but genuinely, if everyone stops for a minute and thinks about this, how typical of that is that? That is how life works. Like you could... Yeah. Zombie apocalypse, you could go out like hunting for days for food, and you get back and you're like, I'm sorry, I only found this one tin of beans. Like, oh, that's okay. While you were gone, we found this whole truck of beans behind the house.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's wonderful news.
It literally was, yeah. It was like the kind of, oh, God. Yeah, and we almost died 3 times, and all we actually had to do was take up that plank on the floor.
Literally lift up the friggin' mat. I mean, but yeah. So it's kind of like, oh, you could call that just ridiculously convenient, right? But no, I genuinely feel like that's how life would work.
Yeah.
And of course, if they understood a submarine, they would have known it was there. Because, like, I saw a few comments on a Facebook post, and the comments basically was like I was screaming the whole time. They're like, look in the galley under the things.
Oh wow!
So clearly that's a thing. That is a. I guess
us UK folk are just like, what?
Yeah, no.
The US whatever. Out there are all sitting there going, look in the galley, for goodness sake, it's there.
Well, yeah, in America they all have guns, they all drive nuclear subs. Definitely, that seems rational.
It's a thing, yeah.
So moving on to episode 3, are you happy?
I am. Cindy Hawkins.
What? I don't want to go into.
What was this episode like? What?
Yeah. So I don't want to massively dive into this episode into level of detail, but I do definitely want to say, John Dory Sr. for me, I think we discussed this in the end of season 6, has basically been a character they brought into the show because they still had John Dory's stories to tell.
Yeah.
Because everything that happens with him, you could imagine being just that little bit better if it had been John. I know this sounds really stupid, but this where he's like, I've got to solve this thing with Teddy, this final one I couldn't do, would have been perfect for John to be, this was the one thing my dad couldn't solve. I need to do this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can tell that this was clearly a big arc mapped out, and when that guy went, you know what, guys, I'm done. I'm sorry, I'm not renewing.
Thank you very much, but that's enough, yeah.
But I want to point out, they casted this guy brilliantly, again, the John Dory Sr. as an actor, because I lived this whole episode with him in a really freaked out kind of way.
Yeah, it was a strange episode.
Yeah, I mean, they're in that bunker, which is Teddy's bunker, and of course they basically find a hidden murder room.
That was messed up.
that's gonna mess you. I mean, I've written down here it's like Groundhog Day, but the one thing we do get is a clock. We get an indication of how long they have been in there, so therefore we get an indication of how much time has passed.
Yeah, I quite like, is it the opening where it kind of just goes through the night John, night June.
Yeah.
Morning John, morning June.
So they have been in there when this episode kind of gets into it, 69 days.
Yeah, that's a long time.
That is how much time has passed from the end of 6 to 7.
Yeah.
So when the bombs dropped. So great way of telling us, you know, perfectly within the story without it being like, you know, episode 1. Oh, Morgan, it's been 3 months. Like, oh wow, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, subtle, guys. Yeah, this was a good way of doing it. And like I said, John Dorie Sr. is just haunted by his past with Teddy, and he is just in the worst place he could be because of that. Something we learn in this, he's an alcoholic.
Yeah, that's dropped on us.
Yeah.
But dropped on us quite well, I thought. It wasn't dropped on us like a case of, there's John Dorie, bottle of whiskey. There's John Dorie, bottle of scotch. There's John Dorie. He's drinking the mouthwash. You know, it's not that dropped on us.
Why is John Dorie hiding bottles around the house?
Yeah.
Why does John Dorie keep saying this is his medicine? Yeah. I thought it was great because it also dealt with the fact of him going cold turkey from it and becoming an asshole because of that. And the way
after how long would you have just started giving him shots? All right, fine, have the whiskey.
I mean, June, he becomes this like real paranoid, hallucinating kind of lunatic, basically.
Yeah.
And June is trying to save him, and like decides, oh, I'm going to sedate him, like because. You know, you can imagine like your paranoia just becomes insane. They've got people trying to break into the chamber, so there's like constant banging. The roof is clearly crumbling away. He's been watching that from the start, just get bigger and bigger, this rust patch. It's like the whole thing is just created to feel claustrophobic.
And boy, did it work. Yeah.
Oh, it was great. By the time he kind of gets out of there, and you know they have the situation where he's basically being led by like this ghost of Cindy Hawkins, and June's kind of trapped down below, and he leaves because he's like, "Oh, you tried to kill me."
Yeah.
And then he gets up top, and then he kind of has that realization. He starts shooting a few of the people that are up there trying to get to him.
And then you start seeing all these dead women.
Yeah, but they're
Very
actually
strange.
walkers coming towards him. I felt a genuine fear, like that was how we were going to lose John Dorie Sr. You know, a character that we like, but we all know, you know, could go, you know, could be the end of him, could be his story ending. But you know, he finally gets it together. I mean, I've written down here, John's a bit crazy. He's been guided by a Cindy ghost. He returns to save June, and they find Cindy in the wall. It kind of feels a bit like a mirror to the episode before where they've gone out looking for food and come back and found the food.
Yeah.
Where John's gone out looking for the dead body and come back and actually found it.
In the wall, though, I'm like, jeez.
Yeah, it was so messed up. Like, it was so messed up. And, I mean, they kind of talk about it along the lines of, clearly, this was right at the point that you nearly caught him and he couldn't do what he normally did or what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
But John managed to get some sort of closure from that, which was good. But that whole episode, you know, you talk about, you know, creating episodes that make you feel uncomfortable and things in the apocalypse. I thought that episode did great. It made me feel claustrophobic. It made me feel like the impending threat of just the noise of people trying to break in whilst he was going through the kind of alcohol withdrawal. I thought they did the episode really well.
I know, I agree with you. I agree with you completely on that. It was a good episode. Like you say, the claustrophobic side of it, the whole him trying to bury his past, literally. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, I agree. Any other points of it you wanted to cover before we move on?
Just how messed up the fact that his bunker for his plan at the end had, that murder room. That murder room gave me twinges. I did not like that.
And he also wanted to take that girl with him.
Yeah.
So was he planning to do that to her?
Oh, Dakota at the end, yeah. Was she going to be the next victim? Oh, God, yeah, it's horrible.
Yeah, all of it was just horrible. The guy was just evil.
Yeah.
And Yeah, all of it. It was very well done. So moving on to episode 4, Breathe With Me.
Yes.
We again catch up with more. And we've got Al and the group she tried to save in the helicopter. They're at an old fort, which was a bed and breakfast before the fall. Sarah has obviously had some, an injury since the crash of the helicopter, and they can't find Wendell anywhere.
Yeah.
So Sarah goes looking for Wendell. I can't hear Wendell without that song Mr. Wendell in my head, by the way. Which is really problematic when it's a tense scene. Like, where's Wendell? I need to find Wendell. I'm like, Mr. Wendell, do. And then I get distracted. So I need to sort that out. The guy who's hunting Morgan, so the bloke Morgan shot, we get to meet in this episode. Josiah LaRue, I think. LaRue?
Yeah.
Man, what are your thoughts on this guy? Because we met his brother before, who was the guy who was hunting Morgan, and Morgan took out in that epic fight, and then kind of turned his staff into a kind of axe staff hybrid weapon. This is the guy's brother. Did you feel like... Because my initial thought was, we've had this guy already. You just now bringing in his brother because you thought afterwards, we killed him off too fast. That was fun.
Yeah, that was fun. We can have the Bounty Hunter back for longer, I think.
Yeah.
The Book of Boba's coming out soon. Everyone's going to be involved in Bounty Hunters. Let's bring one back. Let's bring one back.
We need that, yeah. So, I don't know about you, but I was kind of like, I don't know about this. I think we've got a new character here which is worth having, though. By the end of this, and obviously other episodes. He runs into Sarah. He makes a deal with Sarah. Sarah, if you lure Morgan for me, I will help you find your brother.
Yeah.
And so she's like, find my brother first, Mr. Wendell. And they go looking, and we come across one of these guys who's stripping the dead.
Yeah.
It doesn't really give a lot away, but he then goes to like what can only be described as a sort of holding pen for the naked dead, and they find Wendell's chair, and it's blooded, covered, and the guy says, if you look around, you'll probably find the walker that crawled out of there.
Yeah, that wasn't nice.
So when he did that and everything, did you think to yourself that he was dead? And they've obviously, perhaps the actor didn't want to return in this as either killing him off or...
I don't know. For me in this, I've now got the rule of if you don't see the body, don't believe they're out.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on that with this bloody show.
Yeah. You don't see the body.
We will come on to that at the end. But
yes.
Yeah. I have a few
anyone
choice
who's
words.
This before now knows exactly what we'll be talking about at the end.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But yeah, my theory is if you don't see the body or the walker, then you gotta believe they're still somewhere.
They could still be out there. Yeah, you're fucking. But anyway, so that kind of feels like it's ended Sarah's thing. Sarah makes the call to Morgan to meet up. Obviously,
sells Morgan out. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I can. It's the zombie apocalypse. People are just out for themselves at the end of the day. There's a fight. So basically, she does sell Morgan out, but then she tries to warn him. She tries to drive off. And she crashes the car, and they crash the car right next to a nuclear warhead that has not gone off.
I mean, of all the places
the places you're going to slam your car, it's a
best.
really, really crappy situation, and they're trapped. Walkers are coming. They know they got to get away from this friggin' warhead.
Yeah.
Because of the radiation, if nothing else, is just spewing out of the thing. So they call in Morgan to come and help them. Morgan does show up to help, but then of course him and Josiah, I think it's Josiah, end up fighting.
Josiah, yeah.
And Josiah tries to get his brother's head out of a box to bite Morgan, to kill Morgan, and it ends up biting the dog.
Oh no!
Man,
you don't hurt animals.
Can I just clarify? There are rules, right? Dogs are safe, babies are safe, and in just a couple of episodes, we've had a damn Walker baby in a bag, and now you've killed off a dog.
You've killed off the dog.
The dog.
The dog. Like that dog is up there with Dog from Walking Dead.
Yeah.
You don't kill off the dogs, and they bite the dog. You hear that? Oh, yeah. And I'm like, oh.
No, I know. I was just but it kind of snaps this Josiah guy out of this revenge melee in his head, and he's like, "What have I done?" And
killed the damn dog is what you've done.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, but it does snap him out of it, which kind of you can tell. Like the three of them then go to Strand's base, and Strand's base is like they set up this hut with a telephone, and people can arrive at the hut. Now
this I love.
And you can ring up, and you basically got to like audition almost and apply to be allowed in.
Yeah, and again we see it later on how many people have phoned up. I love this.
And he's just turning them away. But yeah, obviously he's not letting them in, but he does reveal that Wendell's there and Wendell's alive. Yes. Again, I wasn't sure. I'm kind of like, that could just be what Strand's saying.
That could just be Strand being an ass. Yeah.
Yeah. We also see at the end of the episode the weirdo stripping of the dead people take that warhead. The Josiah character leaves, kind of like, our paths will cross again, but right now I need to sort my head out because clearly I'm not in a good place. And he leaves. So it'd be nice to see that character again, I think. But we'll see.
I feel like he's going to pop up somewhere.
And Morgan's kind of like, "Hey, Sarah, come back to the sub. It's a fun place. Get everybody. We'll go to the nuclear sub. It's a giggle. We got powdered milk. We'll be good."
If you like powdered milk, we're the place for you.
Yeah, if you like powdered milk, bring it on. So I mean, that's where we are with that. I mean, I don't think there's anything else from that episode, really. I think we've kind of covered it.
That's that one done, yep.
It was good fun. There's a lot of really good scenes in it that were good. I wrote down that Josiah was an interesting contradiction. He was like, I find people, I've got these rules, he'll bury the dead and stuff, but then he was all up for straight up murdering Morgan.
Yep.
Episode 5, Till Death, and we learn about the dark horses.
This episode was one of my favourites.
Okay, I'm going to let you take the lead then, man, because I laughed a lot in this episode, and I'm not entirely sure I was supposed to.
I'm hoping you were supposed to, because I did as well.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we learn a lot more about Dwight and Sherry, and they're outlaws, I guess you'd call them now, wouldn't you? Really?
Yeah.
The dark horses, which sounds pretty cool, and they're very menacing until you realise it's Sherry and Dwight, and you're like, oh, they must be good guys.
Yeah.
Maybe there's like a bit of a blurry line there.
Yeah.
But I know like they've got their set of rules that they have to follow, and then we meet a new character, which I'm just trying to look through my notes to find her name. Mickey.
Yeah.
The lady who played Mickey is not who I was expecting it to be.
The lady who plays it, I mean, you know her from Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yes.
Where she's the host.
Yes.
I know her as the voice of a character in a cartoon series called Archer that I love.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's great, and she's playing a former pro wrestler.
Yeah, that scene when Dwight works out who she is.
Yeah, Dwight basically recognises her and is trying to work out the whole time, and then finally clicks, she's a former pro wrestler. So in this, we have Strand. Basically, Mickey's got away. Mickey was there with Strand, and Strand wants her found. He gives some cock and bull story about her safety and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Sherry's not buying it. Sherry's like, you're full on Negan.
Yeah. And she notices it very quickly, kind of like where this is going.
Yeah.
Which I think is good, actually. Having a character like Sherry there was really good for it, because we obviously know what she went through with Negan.
Yeah.
And to have her there to be the one going, no, we've seen this before. Yeah. We've been through this, Dwight. Come on, think about it.
I think an important part of this episode as well, which I don't want to miss, is right at the very start, Dwight and Sherry come across a pair of thieves stealing stuff.
Yeah.
Clearly, these people are just out there, and one of them tries to get the drop on him, and Dwight has to kill him because obviously, and he's annoyed. He didn't want to kill anybody. He's aggravated by that, but You know, he's frustrated, bad guy, and the other guy gets away.
Yeah.
The reason why that's important is because Dwight and Sherry then go back to this bomb shelter, if you like, that they stayed in with this family whose house they went to at the end of season 6 when the bombs dropped.
Yep.
And they're obviously still close with this. I mean, very close with this family now. Dwight or Sherry found like a game thing while they were out and gave it to the kid. And the parents are talking about, look, we've heard about this thing called PartA on the radio. We want to try and leave and find it. Yeah. And they're like, no, we'll keep looking. You stay here.
Oh, yeah.
So I've talked about the fact that baby Walker in a bag, a dog being killed.
And now it's an entire family.
Yeah. Later, Sherry and Dwight return to this place to find that this bad guy who they got away has been contracted by Strand and has killed this family.
Yeah, that's messed up.
When the girl was the Walker, I mean, fun for the little child actor, for sure.
Yeah.
But I was, I was like, no, this isn't right. I don't like this. No, I'm not having none of this. Because, of course, there's other parts of this episode which are freaking hilarious.
The chair!
The Grapple Chapel is where it was a wrestling school for this Mickey and her husband.
Yeah.
And she's hoping her husband's there. And they get there, and it's a place just surrounded by walkers. There's the dead everywhere. And it ends up being the three of them, you know, sort of by hook or by crook, Dwight arrives late. The three of them basically pulling off wrestling moves to kill walkers.
It's the Royal Rumble gone wrong. It's amazing.
It is nuts. It's like the zombie Royal Rumble.
Now, you're a
very
big wrestling
comical,
fan.
very funny.
Yeah,
I am.
You're a big wrestling fan. So when I watched this episode and this was happening, I think I sent you a no context spoiler of the scene from Shrek with the woman shouting the chair.
Yeah,
and you were like, what?
Yeah, I got it. Once I watched it, I got it.
Yeah. Oh, man, I loved that scene. It was just one of those scenes where it was like, I'm assuming this should be as funny as I'm finding it.
Yeah.
But she's like clotheslining and doing the tombstone and all this. And I'm like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it was funny. I mean, I've literally written LOL at the Grapple Chapel. So Mickey's husband is dead, unfortunately. Mickey's distraught, but with the other two, she joins them and becomes the three Dark Horses. The odd dead stripper group want to join up with them as well. That's kind of how it ends, with them again talking about Padre.
Yes.
Dwight also says to Sherry about having a baby at one point. I'm kind of like, you're living in a nuclear fallout zone, zombies, and you want a kid.
There was a little part of me that was like, no, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Like, I understand it's a natural thing. You get married, you fall in love, you start a family. That's fine. However,
this doesn't appear to be the time and the place.
When you're going around with like the radioactive graft machines going, beep, 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 beep. No, you can't go there, you'll die. Beep, beep, you can't go there. Are you expecting a toddler to stay inside the beeps?
Well, more you got 9 months of her being pregnant as well. You know, it's kind of
not a smart move.
Nope.
Jealousy aside, not a smart move.
Not at all. The 6th episode's called Reclamation.
Yes.
Morgan is looking for Al.
Yeah.
Now, this episode, I've written down the CRM show up, #crossover.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on this episode in general with the CRM and stuff?
I'll be honest with you, I did genuinely think this is where we were going to get a proper crossover moment.
Yeah.
I was like, something's going to happen in this episode that's either going to be mentioned in the world beyond, or something's going to happen in the world beyond and it's going to get mentioned over here.
Yeah, I'm still not entirely sure on the continuity and timelines between those two shows.
Yeah, this is the problem.
So, but I did just seeing the CRM show up. The two soldiers fight Morgan and Grace and threaten to kill them unless Al gives up the beer ladies, you know, her girlfriend location. There's a scene where Al lures in the helicopters by having them chase Morgan in the APC thing, and has a plan with a cannon
Oh my god!
I'd love, run me through this canon thing, buddy, because I kind of said it to you canon, and you were like, yeah, boy.
Oh my god! So she's found like an old fort sort of thing. It seems like, and it has a cannon out front.
Yeah.
And she's kind of like looking at this cannon, putting a few bits in the cannon, firing it off, and I'm like, oh, okay. So she's basically, her idea is this is going to protect her from the walkers.
Yeah.
She's going to throw stones in there. It'll shoot out. Some of the stones will hit the heads, at least decimate the legs or something like that, and it'll be easier for her to survive the walkers. This is a really good idea.
Yeah.
And then Morgan shows up, and I'm a bit like, oh, okay, I'm sure there's still an idea here somewhere. And then the two CRM guys turn up.
Yeah.
And in my head, I'm like, I don't think this is what was planned. She hits the ground, Morgan fires, and oh my god, wow.
Yeah.
It absolutely disintegrates these two soldiers. I'm like, I don't know what hardcore stuff she put in there, but wow. And then you just get a scene and there's like a leg over there, a hand over there.
Yeah.
And again, one of those scenes that when you're in a zombie apocalypse show and you go, oh, that was gross. That was gross. You know they're doing something wrong.
Her destroying the walker in the test was gross.
Yeah.
Her killing the two CRM guards was...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was watching this, and I was watching this on my PC. My partner, she was watching something on the telly. And she's just heard me go, oh my god, oh wow. And she's looked at me, she's gone, what? I went, two people just got killed off. And she went, it's a zombie show. Why are you grossed? And I was like, watch this, wait there.
Yeah.
Pause, rewind.
What actually happened that made you pull the... Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, she watched that scene and she went, oh, that's disgusting. I went, yeah. See?
Thank you.
You go back to your silly, rubbish, girly flicks on telly. This is, look,
Yeah, this is real carnage.
Yeah.
The basic premise of the episode is, or the basic thing is, obviously the CRM are bad. We know that. And the Reclamation is like this helicopter is going out to clean up any evidence that they've been there. And so they're going to kill everybody. And Al knows
quite
that.
happily.
Which is why Al knows she has to kill them, because they will kill more. I mean, they go after Morgan. They go after Grace. The scene where they're pinned down with gunfire and Grace comes driving in. I'm like, wow, we're back to an 80s action movie.
Yeah.
But Al does go off after Morgan gives her some crap a few times about being afraid. Al does know where Beer Lady is. She does go off to find her, and they are reunited.
Which is cute.
Obviously says you can't stay here. They're going to find you.
Yeah.
But that does mean we might get both of them, perhaps, at some point. And it does mean perhaps at some point with this other person, perhaps we're going to learn even more about the CRM.
Potentially, yes. Al now being ready to kind of leave everything behind and just be the two of them was quite nice.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm kind of like, no, Al, you were our link to information.
Yeah, I know. She smashes her video camera in a kind of quite a symbolic gesture as well, which again led into what Morgan was trying to say to her, like, how about you actually live your life instead of just filming other people's?
Yeah.
Yeah, which was good. I kind of liked that Al was doing that. I kind of liked the idea that at some point, like 100 years in the future, and civilization is hopefully coming back, someone would find those tapes and be like, oh my god, here's a documentary of what it was really like, you know?
You imagine, what is this tape thing?
Yeah, well, yeah. And how does this work with my horse? No. Okay, so that was Reclamation. I think there's a lot there that could possibly tie in, but they
hopefully
didn't give us
somewhere
anything. Yeah, they didn't give us anything. At this point, I did want to run past you.
Yes.
It doesn't really get answered, so it could still be a thing. Padre, we learn throughout, the next few episodes when we catch up with Alicia again, that Padre is a code name given to American government officials of a place to get to.
Yes.
And I'm wondering if that was the basis in the founding of the CRM.
There is a definite kind of overlay to it that makes you think This is all military-wise. It's very well governed. There's policies. There's politics involved. It is a full-on community with a lot of people there.
We know it's the remnants of the US government that founded the CRM.
And now we find out that that's where they were all going to Padre. So you have to wonder...
Yeah, if that is what it is. That was my fault anyway. I wondered that. And it was kind of after this episode I started to wonder that myself.
Yeah.
Episode 7, The Portrait.
This episode is messed up in so many ways.
Strand is having a portrait painted.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing, and he hates it.
He wants the portrait to show what people see, not what she sees, and it's all a bit strange.
It's a bit strange, and it's kind of
see when they look at me, and it's like, well, they see this is a painting. There it is. That's what.
But it's kind of like this demonstrates he's lost the plot, doesn't it? It kind of like this demonstrates he's really lost it. He's gone mad. Yeah. Morgan arrives with the baby. He says the baby's really unwell, wants to come in and be seen. Strand is like, no, go away, but then changes his mind.
This is the episode where we see, whilst the painting is being drawn, just how many phone calls they get from people.
Yeah.
We need to be looked after. No.
Yeah. And it kind of gives you a passage of time as well.
Do you think he is literally just there waiting for a certain person to phone and everyone else is saying no? Because it gets to a stage, even the guy helping him gets to a stage where he's like, look, you're just saying no to everyone. They can help. That guy was an engineer. That guy was a doctor. Why are you saying no to everyone?
Yeah, I think this episode is all about him not being right in the head.
Yeah.
And I think this episode gives us that. But it also gives us a kind of... I can't be honest with you, I'm a little bit troubled by this. I find this episode a little bit problematic because of what happened.
Okay.
So, Morgan comes in, he gets to see the doctor who's there with John Sr., etc., who's there because Strand brought them in earlier on.
Yeah.
And, the baby was unwell. She's generally treating him for like an ear infection.
Yeah.
But Morgan has taken the opportunity to get inside the walls and he tries to poison Strand.
Yeah.
He's pre-calculated it. He has come up with this plan to get in and poison... I don't know about you, the reason why I'm finding that hard or struggle with is it doesn't feel the character that I know. It doesn't feel like a very Morgan Jones thing to do. Because he's peace and love, all life is precious, or he's straight up murder.
This is more sneaky. And he hasn't done sneaky before. He has done, I'm ripping your head off, or... Yeah. No, I know you stabbed me once, but hey, it was so fine. We'll be fine.
Because not only does he do it, he does it and the way he acts and the way he behaves, the way he's sort of like... Because the place gets attacked. By the way, catapulting radioactive walkers into a building. What the shit?
That is awesome. Like, it's not awesome. It's terrible. It's really bad. But that was
awesome so awesome.
Thing.
Watching the walkers splat against the building, slide down the glass, and then other ones go through the glass was pretty funny. But yeah, messed up. What a battle plan!
They should have put skateboard helmets or something like that on the walkers. Just
like put them in spiky suits. Just make sure they go through. But no, that was insane. Yeah. I mean, what a tactic, though. You're coming up against a tower like that. You got the walker moat in front of it. It's like, well, if we can't attack it directly, how about we just launch these buggers in through the windows? And that was messed up.
And it's like, it's a guy that he's turned down as well. So it's someone he's said no to.
Who had a real attitude about it. Like a real kind of...
Oh, you said
they got that. And this is the group that have got that open nuke they found. And they're like, we're... basically rubbing the walkers on the open nuke, turning it into a dirty bomb, and throwing it at you.
Yeah.
But this is what I mean. So this is happening, and Morgan's like, whatever our differences are, the baby's here, I want to help, I don't want this to happen, blah, 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 blah. But he's poisoning him.
Yeah.
Man, that just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel right. It just didn't feel like
it's not something,
that's how he would be.
Yeah, it's not something you'd expect Morgan to do. Like I say, Morgan is either, you stabbed me, it's okay, we'll be friends.
Yeah.
Or then you stabbed my friend, I'm going to behead you.
Yeah.
He doesn't do the sneaky, let me just slip a bit of poison in your drink, you'll never notice.
No, that's... Yeah, I'm with you on that. Morgan has Grace rock up and kill the people with the end track.
Yeah.
Which kind of brought that to a bit of an anticlimax, but okay. And then we learn... Because the thing is, like, Strand in this, whilst he's feeling sick and unwell and paranoid and all over the place, he does have a moment with the baby where he kind of snaps out of that a little bit and is kind of like, yeah, I need to do the right thing.
Yeah, and he lowers the baby down to Morgan all safely, and you think... Because there was in that scene where Morgan's at the bottom of the lift shaft.
Yeah.
And you're there and you're like, oh my God, Strand is going to die. He's going to turn... The baby's there. Oh, they're going to do it again. Surely they can't have two babies, a dog and a child in this series. No, Jesus,
this is going to be messed up. But the thing is, I think because they've done it, because we saw the dead baby already, because we saw the dead child already, it does give you that element of no, please, not
they're
not
doing
another
it
one.
Again. Yeah,
please don't do that. Whereas I think in seasons gone by, you perhaps could have felt a bit, well, the baby's got plot armor. The baby's going to be fine. They're going to kill a baby. Well, maybe they will.
Yeah. Oh my God, they did. Yeah.
Yeah. So there were a lot of scenarios in that which felt dark. But yeah, I'm still not, I don't get this poisoning thing. I kind of felt like if you remove that from the episode completely, the episode was great. Like, the episode, everything else could have happened the exact same way.
Yeah.
And the episode would have been none the poorer for it. So I don't get that decision. Because, to be honest with you, all it does, to me, is make Morgan as bad as Strand. Because he tried to murder him, you know, there's a big difference between we're adversaries, we fight, he dies, to I'm just going to slip this into your drink.
Yes.
And take you out. And when you die from it, the world would be a better place. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of...
I get you.
But anyway, because he tried to murder him with poison, because Morgan did that, Morgan's banished, Grace and the baby basically have to stay, and Crazy Strand now wants to play daddy.
Yeah, that was messed up as well.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, he's proper mental now, and he now wants to be daddy to the baby Momo.
Yeah.
Morgan, after leaving, runs into Dwight and Sherry, who take him to a camp, and it's the people who, or it looks like the people who attacked Strand's building, but it's not. It's another group.
This is another group of people, yeah, all dressed similar because I guess it's protection more than anything else.
Well, that's exactly why they've been stripping the dead.
Yeah.
So this is at the moment the penny dropped from me, and I went, oh, I get it now. They're taking the clothes off the dead, so they've got layers of clothes to wear to protect them from the radiation. I got you now. Okay.
Yeah. See, I reckon it still took me a couple more minutes.
Yeah, no, I got it. But they take me to your leader. The leader is Alicia.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah,
end of episode. What the? Yeah.
Yeah, no, because the episode doesn't end because Morgan has been tracked by the bad guys who have got these walkers with dirty bombs. He spots them, shouts no to Alicia's people, who of course shoot them, and boom!
Yeah.
We got dirty bombs, massive gas cloud of nasty, and Alicia's people running. End of episode.
Yeah, it was great because I genuinely thought when she walked out the tent and we see it's her, we're like, that's the end of the episode. I was like, oh my God! And then it carries on for another 5 minutes and just gets worse.
Yeah. Just everything can be just that little bit worse, and I feel like that was their policy this year with Fear the Walking Dead. It's like, this is a bad scenario, but I think a few more minutes and we can make it just that little bit worse for everybody.
Yay, Morgan and Alicia are reintroducing each other. Oh no, gas cloud.
Yeah, exactly. And dead. Yeah. So not good really. We move on to episode 8, so the mid-season finale. It's called Padre.
It is. This is a roller coaster of emotion, this episode.
So, Alicia and Morgan are basically with this group, and Alicia's not acting very sanely, and they have a kind of walker on a rope. Alicia believes that the walkers retain some sort of memory And therefore she's got this walker on a rope because this is the walker of the senator who knew where Padre was.
Now, have you ever seen George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead?
I have.
And then it goes on to, Day of the Dead, Dawn, all these ones. And then you have Land of the Dead.
Yeah.
Land of the Dead, I think, was one of the last ones. And that's the same sort of premises. The zombies all remember their day-to-day kind of motions.
Oh, okay.
So you've got like a zombie there, which is a petrol attendant, and he just stands there all day, just randomly squeezing a pump of petrol because it's like the muscle memory.
Yeah,
that is what I thought of instantly. I thought to myself, so she's going with the idea of muscle memory.
Yeah,
kind of like, okay, he knows that when the problem happened, he had to get to here. Is the muscle memory, and at the same time, I'm going, well, no, because if that was true, we would have seen this before in some point in the last 10 years of watching this.
You would think, yeah. But I mean, it's not beyond this show to just throw something in brand new. But I'm looking at it thinking she's lost her damn mind. Now, Alicia, this story is being told in two places. One is a flashback to her being locked into this bunker.
Yeah.
The origin of her and this guy Will's relationship and how they met and, how that developed.
Yeah.
And we're basically getting this scenario going forward. Now, what we get in this is, like you said, a bit of a roller coaster kind of episode, but she says in it, something remains with them, an echo. So I'm kind of like waiting to see what she sees in the flashback that makes her think that something remains. Do you know what I mean by that? It's like, she said that to Morgan, so I'm now convinced something must happen in the flashback that makes us think, oh, okay, all right, that makes sense. What happens in the flashback is she gets bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know it's been 69, 70s, possibly 75 days now since that happened. Why is she not dead?
No, see, I went the other way. I kind of went, I know the bomb went off 69 days ago.
Yeah.
But I don't know how long ago she got trapped. All I know...
Well, she got trapped when the bomb went off.
No, I mean...
that's how she got trapped.
Yeah, true. But I was trying to... In my head, I hadn't quite pieced it together yet, so I was kind of like, wait a minute. We've seen it before with people that get bitten. They kind of can survive a fair while before the infection stuff hits them.
Yeah, but not so much, because the infection burns them up. So it's like when the infection hits, how long until someone turns can vary massively. But it seems like you get it, you get the fever, you're dead. Days.
Yeah,
you're dead. It's certainly not weeks.
No.
There's been no kind of account of that. Well, not about possibly massive medical intervention. So it's kind of like this is crazy. How in the freaking... So I'm like, in this weird, like, what the shit's going on? And then they have a confrontation with Strand. Strand tracks them down. They try and kill them. And we have a situation where Strand is trying to have Morgan killed.
Yep.
By this walker bite. And Alicia gets in the way. And she gets bit again.
Yeah.
And she gets bit then. And I'm like, what the... what is going on?
Yeah.
It then gets revealed that the reason why she's not so much bad about the bite now is because she's already chopped her arm off.
She'd already been bitten and now hasn't got an arm there. So, yeah.
Yeah. And we obviously cut it, but she says to Morgan, I don't think I cut it off in time. And she doesn't look well. Like, she looks really messed up.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't think I cut it off. But still, she survived 70 odd days. Like, her fever broke.
Yep.
When she was in the hospital, like the flashbacks, they're like, yeah, your fever broke, but then it's like came back and then it broke again. And it's kind of like, this is the first time we're hearing of this or seeing this ever. It's like, what the hell is going on with Alicia? Is Alicia got something in her?
Is she the cure?
Is this some sort of crazy ass variant, which of course the world beyond now tells us there are variants of the virus.
Yeah.
Has she got one of them, which is going to cause her to be very different? So yeah, this kind of episode, I do just want to touch on that conversation though that I mentioned a minute ago, where Alicia says something remains, definitely an echo, because Morgan replies, no, I once thought that, and that's how my son died.
Yeah.
Because he thought that about his wife, of course.
Yeah.
Who then, killed his son.
Yeah. Bad times for Morgan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun for him to relive that. You know how that goes well. But yeah, so the whole kind of premise of this, that whole aspect of this episode, my mind's like blown. It's like, what the hell? Alicia, how are you still part of this? How are you still in this? And of course it could very well be that she's not going to be in it for much longer, which is very depressing for me, because she's a phenomenal character, wonderful actress.
Very much so, yeah.
So I'll be gutted if she's not in it anymore. And the end of the episode is she then has a confrontation with Strand.
It's all going quite well until...
Yeah, I was going to say, it's kind of like you said to me about when Will got thrown off the building, splatted, and we saw him turn to a walker. It's like, we're going to see that guy again. This walker of Will is going to play some aspect. And as Alicia's kind of, I don't know, creating a kind of, let's all walk away, we can be friends, we can talk, she turns around and sees Will crawling.
The crawler.
The crawler, not a walker, a crawler. With the necklace. And that's it. We're at war.
And I'm like, oh wow, okay, so season part B is going to be the war.
The war between Strand and Alicia and Morgan.
Which is going to be interesting, because you wouldn't think straight away that Strand would want to kill Alicia, because...
Well, no.
But at the same time, that guy has gone.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, playing baby daddy with Momo is...
Yeah.
Now, episode 9, so part B of this, airs the 10th of April.
Yeah, we've got a while.
It would appear that we're going to get The Walking Dead Season 11 Part B starting the 20th of February. So if you do an 8 weeks run of that, it takes you straight to the week before the 10th of April. So it would appear we're going to get The Walking Dead return the 20th of February, 8 episodes, and then it will go straight into 8 episodes the back half of season 7 of Fear.
Nice.
That seems to be how they've lined it up. Fear the Walking Dead has been renewed for a season 8, and when they announced the renewal, they also announced something else.
Mm-hmm.
Do you wanna talk about?
It's the return of the medicine. It's the return of the medicine.
So to clarify,
yeah,
Ding Dong. I did a whole episode.
You did Ding Dong the
where
witch
it was
is
Ding
dead.
Dong the witch is dead, and I celebrated for an entire episode, 45 minutes of pure
you did
joy
not see the
and
body.
elation. We did not see the body. We did not see her become a walker. Therefore, it's been announced that Madison will be returning to Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, where has she been for the last couple of years?
So unhappy. So unhappy. I mean, I can't tell people how unhappy I am about this. Madison is a character, and I could never make my mind up if it was the actress or the character. But I hated.
You've never gone with it.
Hated. Just never. There was no redeeming feature, no anything about her at all. And I know a lot of Fear the Walking Dead fans, when she went, dropped the show. They're like, no, there is no show without Madison. Like The Walking Dead was no show without Rick. But no, just jog on. Like, she left, and this show got so much better, and I will fight people over that. You know, the Morgan, John Dory, seasons 4, 5, 6 have been the best this show has been. As season 7 part A, I think some of the best stuff this show's ever done. Again, and she's not in it.
Yeah.
But apparently, she's going to return in 7B, and she's returning as a main character for season 8.
All I've got to say is, do you know what the name of her last episode was?
What?
No One's Gone. They set it up.
I'm really unhappy about her coming back. I just the only good thing could be about her coming back is if Morgan shoots her in the face.
Yeah, you left your children. Bang!
Yeah, and I'll just be like, I get to play the Ding Dong the witch is dead again. I mean, maybe I get to celebrate her death twice. That's the way I need to look at this. I need to look at it as the potential that I get to celebrate her dying again.
Yeah. Oh dear.
And on that note, I want to say a massive thank you to everybody who listens to our podcast. The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, The Walking Dead, World Beyond, and The Walking Dead, The Rick Grimes story will all continue with us here.
Yes.
As I said, season 11 for The Walking Dead show is split into 3 parts. The second part begins the 20th of February, so we will be back episodic on that. And our Fear the Walking Dead show will return to being episodic in April when the Fear the Walking Dead show returns as well. I hope you've enjoyed our 7A recap. If we miss bits, do let me know. Any bits you want to discuss, drop us a message on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Carrier Pigeon, however you want to get in touch. I've been Sam. I've really enjoyed going through this week. We'll be back really soon. Everybody, take care.
That's a mid-season wrap.
Thank you for listening to the Stuff and Things podcast. We hope you enjoyed the show. You can find us on Facebook or online. Simply search the Stuff and Things podcast to join in our conversation every week.